and
then the
make
other
money.
people would do the hard work, and then occasionally you get sent this check, you go,
And win
"Oh,
awards."
lovely."
Yeah.
Like that. And then when he wins an award, you sort of claim that it was actually you.
Yeah,
that
Steve
won it.
Carell wins an award, and then Ricky Gervais goes, "Hello, do you remember I created it?"
No.
Which is fair enough.
This is something that's going to be coming up in conversations with journalists on this side of the pond. This notion that what you do is scathingly cruel.
Well, it's pure
British
filth. It's pure filth.
Well, you do cross the line in ways that we're not maybe as used to seeing. It may be a staple of British humor, but it's not always something that we see in American or Canadian comedy, especially in sort of the primetime stuff that we see in on American network television. When you launched Little Britain USA, I'm thinking of characters like Andy the paraplegic and Ting Tong the Thai mail order bride.
Ah, but Andy is not a paraplegic. Andy, for those of you who don't know the show, is a character in a wheelchair who does not need the wheelchair.
Right.
And everybody knows this except the guy who looks after him. And when the guy turns away, Andy gets out and
runs
you can see
and-
he's tremendously agile.
But you know
in
some
a
of what you
way,
do is-
You know, he's a con man. He's not disabled at all.
I guess my question is, how do you think that level of, for lack of a better term, political incorrectness will play in America?
Well, I think it'll play to, maybe an audience that likes things like South Park, or, or more edgy shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Or Borat,
Yeah, I mean, Borat was, incredibly dangerous piece of work, and that's what made it exciting. I think people do like that in comedy. Think about the controversy around Life of Brian. The time, it was banned in certain countries,
Right.
which seems extraordinary now because it's now just a comedy classic. But people couldn't, some people couldn't handle it at the time, and I think a bit of controversy is no bad thing. I think mainly what we're trying to do in Little Britain is send up people's prejudices. We have a character, Matt plays Marjorie Dawes, who runs a Fat Fighters group, which is like a Weight Watchers group, and
Yes.
she's racist, homophobic, fattest. But we're sending up her views. We're not celebrating them. There's always a danger that someone may get the wrong end of the stick.
And there's a brilliant scene in the new season with actually Rosie O'Donnell makes a guest appearance with that character, and you've kind of made it a tradition on the show to have well-known British stars do walk-ons on Little Britain. Is that something you're continuing with Little Britain USA?
Yeah, we like to do a kind of smattering of it. I mean, I think, David, you were saying yesterday you feel we have to earn it.
Yeah, when we do it in England, there's a charity called Comic Relief where you do a special episode of your show, and we had like Elton John, George Michael, Robbie Williams. But in America, I feel like we haven't earned it to have too many celebrities. Rosie we met, and she was a big fan of the show, and it just sort of fitted really well, and we had this idea for a sketch, we're really pleased it turned out well. But it wouldn't do for too many celebrities to be in it. I mean, it'd be different in a few years' time if we'd made a career in America and everyone knew us. Then maybe something we could do a bit more. We also see Sting in the series. I get to kiss Sting. I'm dressed as a lady, of course, and I got to kiss him about 5 times because you do retakes when you're filming something. So each time I just kiss him for a bit longer and a bit deeper, just really to amuse myself and the crew.
I've always wondered if you guys were fans of Kids in the Hall, the Canadian comedy troupe.
Love it, yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've always heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's a brilliant show. It was on Channel 4 probably 10 years ago or more in Britain, and I used to watch it. I loved it, yeah. Let
me ask you this before I let you go. You guys have, I mean, you've referred to Monty Python a couple of times, a troupe of guys who knew each other really well, developed together, and then ended up having issues with each other in some cases. You two have known each other for, I guess, close to 20 years, and you've been working professionally for almost as long. You're so involved in every part of this together, including starring in it. You create it, you write it. How do you keep your relationship on positive ground?
Gian, what you can't see right now is that we've each holding up a sword at each other's throats.
An actual sword.
Yeah, we're each holding
the British bring the sword.
It's probably easier for 2 people to get on than, I mean, in Monty Python there's 6 of them, isn't there? And I do think of people in bands, like the Rolling Stones. I mean, I know there's only 3 original members left now, but if you've got like five guys and they've got to get on for about 50 years, it must be really hard.
We get on all right, actually.
But yeah, it's the 2 of us, and
also we were just good friends for 4 years before we started writing comedy together. So the whole relationship is founded on friendship, and you know, yeah, well,
Do
it's working at the moment.
Do you make each other laugh?
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. That's the
stuff
main
actually
aim.
makes
That's the main aim when we're writing, really, to make each other or ourselves laugh.
David told me a new idea he had yesterday, and I woke up in the night actually with strange sleeping habits because of the jet lag, and I was just laughing about that idea.
And what was it?
I'm not going to tell you. It's about a new character.
Just in case you don't find it funny,
Yeah,
and then you think we've lost our minds.
Yeah, it's in embryonic stages, but it's a new character and a new idea he had. And I mean, you know, Mr. Walliams, you've still got it.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas.
Guys, I'm going to let you go. I know you've got a bunch of other interviews to do. It's been are you okay?
I just moved my leg and I knocked a phone off the table. I'm sorry.
It's been a pleasure. Good luck with this. And if you ever actually come to Canada, to Toronto, come see us live, will you?
I'd love to.
Absolutely.
We'd love to tour Canada one day. Will you come?
Yes, I will be there. I'll be in the front row.
We've sold one ticket.
I'll be in the front row mouthing the lyrics to everything. Matt.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys.
God bless you, Jan. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Matt Lucas and David Walliams from Little Britain, USA. It's now playing on HBO in America and the Movie Network here in Canada. They join me from our studio in New York.